So I'm never going to be a professional presenter. I mean, between me droopy face, the migraines that make me look like I've gone way too overboard on the Botox, and the wonky joints that mean my body clenches up to protect itself. Not to mention the fact that once I press record, I freeze like a rabbit in headlights. I just look really stiff and unnatural on camera. So I tried today. Does like 3 minutes of total silliness help me appear better on camera? Hi, I'm Shan, and I'm doing 100 videos in 100 days to see if I can actually get better at this YouTube thing. So I have a number of health conditions, but one of those is hypermobility. So my joints go well beyond what they're supposed to do. Yeah, I've been told before if I was born a couple of 100 years ago, I'd be burnt at the stake. Actually, where I come from, that was still a risk. Anyway, sorry, I get distracted easily. It's like, oh, squirrel, that way. Yeah. So this side of my face is quite droopy. If you've watched any of my videos, you may have noticed it, that the muscles on the side just don't respond as much as the muscles on this side, so I kind of look like I'm a bit droopy. There's nothing I can do about that, but it does look a bit odd. On top of that, if I get a migraine, my brain seems to lose the ability to communicate with the muscles. Well, with all my muscles really, but including the muscles in my face. I can get like I look really grumpy but I'm not actually grumpy. And then on top of that, because the hypermobile joints, they clench up to try and stop the joints from moving. So I just look like, well, as we'd say in the UK, like I've got a broomstick up my ass, which on YouTube is not the way to go. And even watching the videos back, I'm like, oh, it's painful. I'm so stiff. I'm so... Ugh. So I decided to see if, acting a fool for 3 minutes before filming. So that included some dancing to my favourite music. Yeah, I didn't record that. Trust me, nobody needs to see that, including me when I'm filming it. When I'm editing it, not filming it. Oh, when I'm filming it too, I've got a screen. Then I sort of performed some nursery rhymes as if I was the, overacting 3-year-old. That was actually quite fun. And then just pulled some funny faces at the mirror for a few minutes to see if I could convince my brain that this side of my face exists and should move too. And I don't know, I don't actually know whether it's improved and made me look any less stiff on camera. What I do know is that I actually feel more comfortable presenting. I feel a little bit more like myself. I feel like I can relax a little bit more. And that's helpful. I think that's helpful in the long term, even if I don't necessarily look more like I can present on camera. Well, like I'm presenting on camera badly, but I'm doing that. But make me look a little bit more like I'm not totally stiff and can't move on camera. I've lost my train of thought. Tell you what, while I think about it, I'm going to check the video and see if it actually has made a difference. I'm back. I'd say, yeah, it does make me look a little less stiff. Marginally. Probably still not a good presenter, but marginally a little less stiff. So I think, the lesson today is if you are starting from a baseline that's lower than average, maybe like in my case, that's because of medical issues, maybe it's for 100 other reasons that I can't think of right now, then that doesn't mean you can't improve. It doesn't mean you shouldn't bother trying, because you're never going to be as good as someone who doesn't have those issues and improves. Better doesn't mean perfect. Better doesn't even mean good. Better means better than yesterday. And that I can achieve. So that was an interesting little experiment. I think I'll keep doing that. Let's hope my husband doesn't get wind of this. He's going to think I've gone crazy. Actually, he's been married to me for a long time now. He already knows that. See you tomorrow.